And that word, Arunachalam, has ignited him. All his past must have arisen by then. He was Avatara Purusha. He has descended to tell the world how easy this Atmajnana is. How easy, how immediate, no complications, only sincerity, seriousness, earnestness, urgency. One needs urgency because the folly will continue. By default, what happens? The foolishness will continue. The ego will continue. Ego is nothing but ignorance. This waking state, to know or not to know, both comes out of ignorance. They are not light on their own. They have no light of their own. Only that alone is. That is identical to our deep sleep. To tell this, to declare this truth to the world, and the easiness of it, the simplicity of it, to declare it to the world, Bhagawan has descended, taken that form. When this word, Arunachalam, was told by the relative, some sort of inexpressible feelings has arisen in Bhagawan as a kid. In Venkatraman as a kid. Then, now that he relates that, I was thinking that the truth is something very big, marvelous. So I was searching for that. I came here to Tiruvannamalai and I saw you standing as a mountain. Oh, truth is this. In stillness, the rocky stillness, a giant mountain like stillness, you are actually loudly announcing ceaselessly to the world that I am the truth. As a mountain, that one intelligence in this globe, it has descended as a mountain, and in front of everyone's eyes, it is expressing, the truth is expressing as itself as a mountain in front of everyone's eyes and declaring it, I am the truth. How can you miss me? See, in front of a mountain, as we walk along the mountain or as we go along the mountain path, what happens? We are becoming the tiniest spot there. Very small, insignificant beings. From the mountain top, we will not even be seen. No one will be even seen. We will become like a dot. That is the state. That is how the truth is. That is how, when he dived deep within himself, he dived deep within himself, within his mind. He dug the truth. Everyone has to dug. Everyone has to dig. When he dug the truth, he found, oh, it is immensity itself. Like a mountain. That is what is this Arunachala actually is. After having reached Tiruvannamalai, after undergoing all the samadhi experiences, within his heart, it was loudly revealing itself. The truth was loudly revealing itself. What else is this mountain in which you are sitting and meditating? That itself is the truth. That stillness, that magnificence. Here, in the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th sentences of the verse, Bhagavan says, விண்டிடாது விண்டிலை பண்டினி விளக்கினை என்றால் விண்டிடாத உன்னிலை விளக்கிடவென்றே. விண்டிலை பண்டினி விளக்கினை என்றால் the ancient, the one Guru, Lord Dakshinamurti, he identifies this particular realization process with Lord Dakshinamurti. Dakshinamurti is a guru. Actually, Atma Guru, they say Atma Guru, the Lord of that intelligence. He is the teacher. He is the Atma itself. Atma itself is teaching everything. How does the teaching come? Teaching happens in one only by the grace of the self. Self is the Dakshinamurti. Here Dakshinam also they say south. He is looking at the direction of the south side, which they refer to the place of ego. In the body also they differentiates the directions, the 4 directions, north, south, east, west, simply to a human body, actually. The north, if a man stands, you just look at the stance of the man. The upper portion is the north, the front side, whole front side is the east, and the behind is west, and the bottom portion is south. Here, ego's placement in the human physical body is throat. From here, all the lower feelings. What else is ego? Ego is nothing but identification with body. Most of us live in our face. But through brain activity, that disintegration happens, the association of all bodily feelings come. That's why from deep sleep when we wake up, first we move the head from the throat, from the place of throat, neck. Slowly we get up. First we put our hand on our sides. Slowly the head is raised. And we get up. For that the neck has to come out. First waking up is happening through the face. The buddhi works. That is what they say. So this side actually is east, they say. East. It is identified with east direction. The behind, the back side of a human being is the west. And the upper portion, above neck, is the north side. That is why holy feelings, the higher faculties, the higher conscious living, Urdhvaretam Virupaksham, they say. In most of the suttams this will come. Urdhvaretam means the breath that is going upwards. The finest essence of the breath is going for the sublime ways of understanding. It dawns as wisdom in one. Where does it happen? It happens not, it is happening actually in the urdhvaretam, through the breath that is moving upwards. Urdhvaretam. Virupaksham is the eye of wisdom actually. The special eye. That is what we are actually trying to light it up. Light of wisdom that opens up in one. So here Dakshinamurti, he says, Guru Dakshinamurti also, you kept quiet. Like a statue you sat under the tree and held your hand in Chinmudra, keeping the eyes closed. You transmitted the truth through silence, because there is no ego left over to coin a word, to make out a sentence to speak. The speaker should come. His energies should be oriented towards that speech, to coin, to conceive ideas and make out whatever the findings that he found out of that investigation. That is why now I realize about Lord Dakshinamurti, the Guru Dakshinamurti, why he transmitted the truth through silence, because he couldn't speak. There was nothing as a separate entity existed after that anubhuti, after the transformation that has taken place in Dakshinamurti, to pass on. That's why he kept silence. Silence was the revelation. Silence was the speech about the truth. Because stillness and silence are synonymous happenings. They go together. That is why you kept silent. Who else here can declare this, that to come out of self-realization, say, yes, I have seen myself. That is myself. This is not myself. All these things. Who has come here? Who can exist as a separate entity to declare or talk after that realization? The truth is, everything is that. Only that is, there are no individual centers, separate centers. There are no individuals at all. When there are no individuals at all, where is the question of roles being played by an individual? Where is the existence of roles being played by an individual? Different roles. How can they exist? So totally silence, true silence. You said only stillness prevails, easiness prevails, intelligence prevails, only bliss prevails, nothing else. The moment a separate entity pops up, all troubles arise with that. The moment one duality enters one, simply a duality enters one, multiplicity also come there. Multiplicity also comes there. This is what he refers to Lord Dakshinamurti, Guru Dakshinamurti. That's why you also could not speak, because there was nothing, because that the truth of that also is nothing but stillness and silence. How can that descend to a lower level and configure itself as a thought and speak it out as a speaker? Express it. That's why you kept silent. And in this yuga, the present day contemporary world, it is the very hill that is sitting like you, like Guru Dakshinamurti, and declares the truth ceaselessly, that I am stillness, that I am silence embodiment, I am that Chinmayam, I am that Chit, that one intelligence. No other separate intelligence can exist here at all. That's why all our actions, all our waking state things however high, however sublime, whatever be the spiritual practice also, there can be no foundation for it, because they are not intelligent by themselves. They are unintelligent because they are shadows. They are not light. Only one light. That is you. That is this Athman in every one of us. That alone is the light. This is how Bhagawan has, like a Zen master, there and then in one diving deep, with one dive, he has dug out the truth and declares it. It is such a nice cone. It's a Zen cone-like song which is revelatory of the truth, which reveals the truth to all of us. Here I have written a Zen cone also that almost resembles the same thing, which we can practice also when we do our everyday meditation. Whenever we go into our meditation, let me read this. A seeker has asked the Zen master, what are you thinking of so intently? What are you thinking of so intently? For the monk, for the seeker, it appeared as though the Zen master was deeply, intently thinking of something. He asked the Zen master, what are you thinking of so intently or so intensely? What are you thinking of? What is the thought which occupies your mind? What are you involved with? This is what he asks. For that the master replies, I am thinking of that which does not think. You see, I am thinking of that which does not think. What is the process he is saying? I am thinking. To find out here, non-thinker, he was using thinking to look at who is a non-thinker in him. This is what the kind of reply he gives. And then the seeker questions the master, but how can you think of that which does not think? How can you think of that which does not think at all? See, it's like in space there are no different locations. Empty space. I mean empty space. This is empty space. This space, as if it is trying to enter this space, how will it be? Both are objectless. There is no separate conditioned things are available to make a friction for the entry. Understand this? As if that room space is entering this room space. Only walls divide. Walls divide the space as hall, kitchen, bedroom, bathroom, balcony, all these things. By space itself, is it a divided one? Undividedness is what is called as space. So, what can be the approach? Actually, Ramana Maharishi or the Zen master, both they teach a method. That is what I have been telling about Dharana Dhyana practices also. Here, he replies to that question, but how can you think of that which does not think? How can that hall space enter this bedroom space? Both are in the open. He replies, by not thinking. By not thinking. So, what actually he means, the same thing as Bhagawan. Bhagawan has said, the moment I looked for the seer who was actually trying to see something, I was actually looking at the seer himself. Who is the seer looking for something here? Who is the seer that is looking for something here? That when I looked into it, I found that there was fundamentally no seer at all. Where's the question of is being seeing something? How can he see something? When I find there is no seer at all, you can't even say witness. It's a witness. Nothing. Only stillness pervades. Silence pervades. Intelligence pervades. It's a revelatory intelligence. It's not a dump intelligence. This. Here, by not thinking, this is what one should practice also in his everyday dharana, dhyana, samadhi practice. Dharana, meditation, that leads into this non-thinking state, that is no thought state, no mind state. I have been teaching you dharana, dhyana, samadhi. In the same way, you take up this meditation too. Start. For those who are not involved in any of the physical activity, who has time, sit in a corner, sit comfortably, relax yourself totally. Do not lean your head anywhere. You can sit on a chair or on the floor, but keep your back straight. If you want to lean on the wall, you can lean. Lean on the chair, you can lean, but head alone, do not lean the head. And start doing dharana. I have told you what is dharana. Dharana is just the breath going in and coming out. It is not a physical breathing exercise or pranayama. We are doing something very fine and delicate about the very self. As a separate entity, we are actually, each one of us, probing into the truth of it, whether a separate self-existing reality exists here. That is the probe. That is what is self-realization is all about. Here, with the eyes closed, it's an excuse. Through breath, immediately one is drawn inwards and one is placed inwards. It is only an excuse of the feeling of the breath which is going in and coming out. Through that, one is slowly bringing the mind also to the point where the dharana becomes complete, and that dharana becomes dhyana. What is dhyana? The observer is there, the feeling of breath is there. He is with the breath, the oncoming in breath and outgoing out breath. He is with the feeling of both the breaths which is coming in and going out continuously. The observer is there, the breath is coming in. The observer is there, the breath is going out. He is with the feeling of the breath. It is not a physical exercise, physical breathing technique. So, by this is what is dhyana. Dharana is number of external activities also may distract one. While during the dharana period, it might happen that while watching the breath, I will be thinking of my past yesterday's incident. I will be projecting tomorrow's something I plan to do. So all these things might happen in dharana. Dharana is 2 plus any number of distractions.